Here to help us get ready for the first of those two, joining Ross Smith and me, is Timbers defender and midfielder Lawrence Olum. We'll talk about San Jose, but first I want to get your thoughts on last week. Not the result per se, but your experience. So you played in the rivalry, Portland-Seattle, in 2007 and 2008, 9 years ago, in USL, at Quest Field at the time, but in front of 8,000 fans. Now you play at what's known as CenturyLink, in front of almost 50,000. What was the difference for you playing last week versus 9 years ago?
I would want to say the amount of people at the stadium. That's the first thing that's, stands out. But, the rivalry is still about the same, if not more now, because both teams have won championships, so, both teams can brag about something. So it was just phenomenal to be there again.
Back then, how into the rivalry were you? How heated was the rivalry a decade ago, and how quickly did you learn about it when you arrived in 2007?
When I got here, when I was playing for Portland in 2007, that's one of the first games everybody talks about, Just mark it down and know that we have to beat Seattle. Yeah. And quickly, once being around a couple of guys, being around the team, you get to know real quick.
From one era to the next, what about the biggest difference from one position to the next? You started off the season as a center back, and you played against Seattle in the center of the park. What's the biggest difference between those two positions, and how much do you have to change your game?
The biggest difference to me is when you're playing in the back, you have only the goalie behind you. So some decisions you make are more towards, cautious. But when you're in the middle, you can be a little bit more adventurous, on maybe the tackles or the decisions you make, knowing, there's four guys behind you.
You've played for 3 different clubs at the second tier, all of those clubs now at MLS level. For you, how neat is it to be on this journey of your career where there's such an evolution in North American soccer, and to see these 3 clubs now at the top level?
One thing, for me is I always want to develop. So being in with all these clubs and see them develop into, franchises in MLS, it just shows the decisions I made then were still good ones, because if I'd stayed there, it gave me a chance to be up in the top leagues.
What would you say the biggest difference from Portland Timbers in the second tier to Portland Timbers now, MLS?
I want to say the number of people around the game, obviously, but the amount of knowledge people have now about the game is a little bit more than back in the day. You could meet people on the train and, they'll know about the Timbers, but now they actually know about the players and stuff. So that's the biggest difference for me.
Your career also took a little bit of a detour, you could say, to Malaysia. 2015, you went over to play in Southeast Asia. What was that experience like after playing your entire professional career in the U.S. to make the choice to go play over there?
It was, because like you said, I've been in the U.S. for so long. I mean, soccer is still the same. But once you go outside the U.S., you see people look at it as a different sport. Here they have basketball, football, so different seasons for different sports. But there, it's only soccer.
And crazy.
That's all they talk about.
We were just chatting with your team across in Malaysia. The crowds that are turning out are absolutely massive. 30,000 regularly you're playing in front of. Is it that much of a craze, the build-up to the games and everything, and how much of a celebrity are you over there?
Actually, the first time I got to Kedah, which was the team I played for, the day we arrived at the airport, there was literally like 10,000 people just waiting. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just Lawrence, who's just, a regular guy, but when you go there, that's all they talk about, and the whole city is behind their team. So it was something new for me and an experience that I cannot forget.
Did that surprise you coming out of the airport gates to see that?
Oh yeah, I was like, who are they here to see? Trying to turn around, see what they're trying to, come see.
There will be 21,144 people at Providence Park on Friday night. We know that. We turn our attention to that match. Ross, local Ford stores look ahead on the San Jose Earthquakes.
Well, since beating the Timbers at the beginning of May, San Jose have gone on to have 1 loss, 2 ties, and a win over what was previously an undefeated FC Dallas team. So they're capable of a big performance. Wando is still the main attraction, but there's nice supplementary pieces. Danny Houston, who we see here, scored his first goal for the team last week against LA Galaxy. He's big, strong, he can hit from distance. And Marco Urena, who we're going to see provide the pass for other newcomer, Hika, who comes in here. It's a nice goal. Again, this is the goal that defeated FC Dallas for the first time this season, first time at home in a long while. And finally, Florian Jungwirth. He's a nice centerpiece, a center back that has come in from Germany, who is nice and solid at the back, just sitting beside Victor Bernardes, who likes to read the game well. He's good on the ball, and he can pick out a pass. And we can see just against the Timbers, just under a month ago, he had a good game himself. And so I look at the San Jose team, and we go back to that result. Lawrence, how much do you look towards revenge and knowing that it was only a few weeks ago, so is the taste still in the mouth?
Oh, yeah. Like you guys said, it was the first of the 4 games we had. And always trying to, they beat us that game. So, like you said, a redemption, you know, because we all play with pride, and you don't want to see yourself losing to a team twice, 3 times, you know. So I think this is a chance that we get to redeem ourselves.
This is a team that started out, the Timbers, a team that started out the season flying, especially in the attack. And I know you were on the backside of that, though you did score the first goal of the season back against Minnesota. Obviously, it's been a little more difficult to find goals in the recent stretch. 4 or 5 on the road, that was tough. How do you guys get back to kind of that goal scoring prowess that we saw early in the season?
I think the way we were playing before created these chances in front of the goal. And I think we're still doing the same. Sometimes just with the game is the lack of the bounce of the ball. I'm sure if we keep playing the way we've been playing the game against Seattle, the goals will come. There's no doubt in my mind that we have guys on the team who can score goals. And as we've seen before, it's just a matter of time.
Timbers and the Earthquakes kick off in just over an hour. It's at 8 p.m. You can watch it right here on Fox 12 Oregon. If you can't get to a TV at 8, listen on the radio, 102.9 750, The Game.